The deck I'll be showing today started off as a small project with a modest goal that turned into a huge hit, not because it invented something new, but because it added cuteness, and a lot of it, to RWS. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jay and this is Lunar Tarot, where I bring you weekly tarot and oracle deck reviews to inspire readings. With the help of Dr. Kotnik here, who only agreed with me to work on one condition: if I add snacks into his contract. And the deck I'll be showing today is the Rabbit Tarot, a Kickstarter project which had 823 backers, and it's a beautiful deck which I think you should add to your collection. Let's have a look at this together. The Rabbit Tarot comes with a beautiful box, and it's probably the best box I have seen so far. It's got an excellent cardstock. There's a name of a deck here, and there's also the Studio Louis art name. And this deck has over 800 backers in Kickstarter. If you're not familiar, that's a platform where a lot of these indie decks that we know today, and some will become mass market originate. It's huge. I think they blew the original plan for the budget by 10 times. So I think they wanted to get 80 people backing it, and then they ended up getting 800 with a huge success. So I wouldn't be surprised if this deck actually becomes a mass production box. So what do we have inside? I opted not to get the guidebook, and the reason is because this is pretty much an RWS clone with rabbits. So it's not like you're gonna be confused with what's happening here, but it also implies a prior knowledge of RWS here. The cards are of a really good quality, I have to say. They don't have any protection or UV coating, but the feel of it, they feel very cardboard-like, which makes me believe that it's probably not going to be the deck you're going to use as your workhorse, but nevertheless, pretty sturdy, not thin cards. Using my trusted measurement tool here, we've got, was it 0.42 millimeters thickness, which is not bad. Now, design-wise, it's very much like what you will see with RWS. There's a frame around the deck here. You also have on the back, there's a beautiful pattern here with floral parts, I guess, with a few flowers there. And that's pretty much it. From the cardstock perspective, I think you could probably riffle shuffle it, which we'll do when we do one card pool. Overhand shuffle will be an easy, as you will see later in this video. All right, looking at the design of these cards, these are digitally drawn. If you look at the Kickstarter project, there's enough evidence of that. And I'm just going to show you some of the key cards in this deck, and you'll get a feel of what it looks like. And there is a flip through at the end of this video, by the way, so if you want to see the whole thing, you get a chance to see all 78 cards. So this is a full. Now you'll see that there are some changes to the design. Full here doesn't have a dog, but the same idea. There's a white rose here, signifying naivety. And our rabbit is sort of contemplating whether she wants to jump off a cliff. The lovers here is definitely about love. There's no choices here, and I'm not sure how rabbits exactly express deep feelings for each other. I guess they stare in each other's eyes and and don't say anything. And there's no angel in this one, unless this is sort of like a starry looking angel. Strength card, I quite like it. There's a lot of changes that happen here. There's no humans in this deck from what I've seen, but the key animals are still here, like a strength card here. And this is an interesting take, right? Because a rabbit is such an innocent animal. And I think here it really shows this deck, I guess, the kindness and just a sort of cheerful sense to it. I also like how the rabbit here is a full size. It's almost like a human, like Lion says. It's probably bigger than that. Now, even Death looks pretty cute here. I don't know, it just looks so funny. In a way, comical. This one sort of has this Tim Burton feel to it. The tower here is an interesting one. There's no flying rabbits because the lightning hit the tower. Rabbit here just looking and checking out, like, should I go in? What's happening here? Do I need a new tower? Some different take on this. Now, Two of Cups, I wanted to show you this one. So here, it's definitely a marriage or wedding card see someone. This is a true love card rather than being anything in the range of emotional connection with cups, right? So your best friend forming a new connection. This is definitely a romantic card, and I think that also tells you a little bit. This card has got this slight inclination towards almost like a cartoon-like feel to it, and a bit of a naivety and probably innocence. And nothing shows more, it illustrates it more than the 10 of Cups card here. The rainbow is a little bit darker here. I'll probably prefer it had more brighter colors, but nevertheless, it's the same idea. And I guess rabbits don't really live in the house, or maybe it's a house in the distance, or maybe you live close by and they enjoy eating the carrots that they steal from the farmer. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Does it look like to you like a happy family, or just a happiness version of rabbits? I don't know. Now, I always like to pull the 10 of Swords to see how brutal the deck is, and this one I was expecting it's going to be less. You know, this rabbit here looks pretty much dead to me, though it does have, there's no brutally looking swords piercing its body or anything like that. It's almost like it's asleep. So all in all, I would say this is probably not as brutal as a traditional RWS card. And 7 of Pentacles. Yes, I like how this deck takes slightly different approach to cards. Here you can see this is probably the grass-fed rabbit seed. My friend had a rabbit once, and she compared it to having a vegan cat. But for the life of me, I don't remember what she fed it. I think it was hay or something like that. I guess this is the life version of it. That's this rabbit here being patiently growing. Let me show you the suit of cups so you get an idea what the court cards look like. And also, this is probably not, I wanted to show this because it usually shows emotion and connection. But what I like about this deck as well, its use of red color. And it just popped up here. They got a magician card here. Just let me show you that quickly. I quite like how it pops here. The red here is really to illustrate a main point of a card, and you will see a lot of it in other court cards or other Minor Arcana. And Minor Arcana here by no means peepish, which I really like about this card. The artist didn't take an easy path here, and she put all the effort into creating this deck to be enjoyable to use. That's why I think it's probably one of the best releases this year, and that's why I jumped on it when I saw it on Kickstarter. So what you see here is sort of like a family. I normally see these decks showing the transition of court cards as a progression of page maturing and becoming a bit more sort of shaping up to be either a queen or a king, or progressing to king through the ranks sort of thing. But here, this looks to me like a family, right? You still have a fish sitting there. There's no question if this is a page of cups. The knight here, still a romantic, sitting on a horse with a huge cup in his hand, searching, I'm going to assume, for love, given this deck really wants to emphasize that point. And the queen sits next to the body of water, similar one. And the king, it looks like a male rabbit because I think they have like a more pronounced features, and this one's got massive ears as well. So yeah, and you can see how this deck, while there's no humans here, it still relatively follows the RWS structure to a degree. We can kind of tell if it's a male or female character. What do you think of the court cards? Don't you think they're cute? All right, how does this deck handle shuffling? Well, I have to say, pretty well. Overhand is easy. The cards are similar in size to my RWS Radiant Tarot. So that's not an issue at all, apart from me dropping the cards while I'm trying to record. Let's try the refill shuffle and see how that pans out. But to be honest with you, it's quite difficult because the deck doesn't want to split. So I'm going to break it using this way. And let me see how that goes. That was pretty good. Though I got to tell you, I did it once and I can see already there's a bit of an arc developing here. So these cards are bendy, but they don't come back to their original shape. So my verdict here, don't kill this deck by riffle shuffling if you're getting one of these. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if I did mention it, I can't remember, if this goes to mass market because of how successful this was. And I can see a mass appeal of this deck compared, to the cat tarot and those similar ones. Because there's no guidebook here, I'm just going to pull one card out and we do it a theme of the day and see what comes out with that, and whether we can understand what this card is without going into, well, using our RWS knowledge. The Six of Pentacles. So what do we see here? This looks to me, yeah, it's a charity card here. I think if I didn't know RWS, I would think that maybe there's some weighing happening because there's no food in the rabbit's hand. It's sort of holding this scale cups, and there's little rabbits here. So maybe if this person here looks like a female rabbit feeding the little ones, it would make more sense right away. But because I know RWS and you know RWS, we know what's happening here. So this is definitely a version of the traditional card with the charitable donations, but being calculated, that we see in the traditional deck. So what do you think of this deck so far? Dr. Koetting's verdict here is good for scratching, not for reading. The Rabbit Tarot is one of those decks that you can get off the shelf when you had a mediocre day, start reading with it, and I can guarantee you it'll improve your mood by a couple of points. I'm going to give this deck 3.5 paws on the cat meter. It's an excellent execution. The cuteness factor cannot be overlooked. I think the box and the cardstock is quite nice. I'm going to take a couple of points off because it feels to me like a novelty item. It does require you to have prior knowledge with RWS, unless you are not like me and you're going to get a guidebook that comes with it. And I also think it's got somewhat limited use, but nevertheless, if you want to get introduction to a tarot world for one of your friends who don't want to get into old school imagery, this is probably a good choice. And Dr. Koetting here also says that he likes this one because he thinks rabbits are his long-eared cousins who just for some reason don't like tuna.
I approve.
What did you think of this deck? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see my entire collection, I'll put a video for you on the screen. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the flip through, and I will see you in the next one.